If you did not configure an assignment to check for plagiarism automatically, or the student submitted his or her work outside of the Blackboard Assignments tool, you can still submit the student's written work to SafeAssign. On the Control panel, open the Course Tools menu. Next, scroll down and select SafeAssign. Notice that this page contains 3 options. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will explore the first 2. The first is SafeAssign Items. This link will open a page that displays all of the assignments in your course configured to use the SafeAssign plagiarism tools. You can view the submissions for any of these assignments by clicking the assignment title. Here, you are able to view the student submissions and open any completed SafeAssign reports. You can also edit the assignment by selecting Edit from the context menu. We don't need to edit the assignment, so I'll click OK to return to the SafeAssign page. The second option on the SafeAssign page is DirectSubmit. DirectSubmit is only available to the instructors, and this is the tool that we want to look at in more detail. When using DirectSubmit, you will be adding the files that you want checked for plagiarism. It's important that you keep your submissions organized, especially since the papers are no longer connected to a unique assignment in Blackboard. So you should create a separate folder for each set of assignments that you want to submit to SafeAssign. But first, notice that we have 2 tabs. Folders on the Private tab are visible only to the instructor who submitted them. In addition, these folders and submissions are associated with the instructor rather than the course. This means that the instructor can access these submissions from any course in Blackboard. On the other hand, folders and submissions on the Shared tab are visible to any instructor who has access to this course. These submissions are linked to the course and cannot be accessed from other Blackboard courses. In this case, we are going to create a folder on the Private tab. We simply enter the name of the folder and then click Add. Now we are ready to submit some student work to SafeAssign. I click on the folder that I just created since I want these submissions grouped together. Next, click on Submit Paper. The first options let me choose to submit these papers as a draft or skip the plagiarism check altogether. If you select Submit as Draft, the work will not be submitted to the institutional database. This means that if the draft is corrected and resubmitted, the final work will not be checked for plagiarism against the draft. Otherwise, the final submission would appear to be nearly 100% plagiarized. The second option lets you skip plagiarism checking altogether. This option could be helpful if you have documents that you want to make sure are included as a source when the plagiarism check is run. It may include such items as a lab manual, your own lecture notes, or student work from previous semesters. In this case, I am submitting drafts that may be revised and resubmitted, so I will select Submit as Draft. Now I'm ready to attach the files that I want to submit. Here we see the same information that we saw in the plagiarism tools when we created a Blackboard assignment. These are the file types that can be checked for plagiarism. But notice DirectSubmit also accepts zip files. This means you can submit an entire group of papers to DirectSubmit by putting them in a folder and compressing or zipping them. When you do this, SafeAssign will extract the individual papers and check each one individually for plagiarism. This is the option we will be using. But first, notice that DirectSubmit will also let us copy and paste a student's work into the paper text box. This provides you a way to run a plagiarism check on discussion submissions or essay questions from a test. In this case, you would have to do each submission separately. To upload my zipped files, I click on Choose File. I then locate the compressed file that contains my student submissions, and I either double-click on the file or select the file and click Open. As soon as I click Submit, SafeAssign extracts the files and submits them for a plagiarism check. The time required to check the files depends upon how many files are in the queue and the length of the submission. Usually, you can expect a report within an hour and sometimes in a matter of minutes. Once the reports are complete, we can view an HTML version of the submission by clicking on the submission link, download the original file from the file column, and view the originality report for each submission.